Hello. Hello everyone. I'm gonna do thing, maybe. We'll try something. I don't know. I don't know. Let me just adjust some of these windows. Yes. I will be started in just a moment. Or I guess more formally started. We'll pull up this one. There we go. Crack open a cold one. Only sometimes. Only sometimes. Let's see here. Yeah, that looks fine. Yeah. Where's my keys at? Okay. Man, speaking of cracking open a cold one, I was weirdly invited to like a New Year's party for later this year, and the guy was like, "Oh, we're gonna have so much alcohol. I always spend like $500+ on alcohol for my New Year's parties," and I'm just like, "Bro, I don't drink." And he was like, "Oh, right. What do you want me to get you to drink at the party?" Oh, okay. I guess we're... He said he'll get me some sody. I guess that'll be fine for me. Hopefully, anyway. Sit in the corner. Oh my god. I mean, that would be the fun thing to do. Whoops. There we go. Ah, Michael, hello. always forget the portions of this character. Okay. Will this be 100? No. I put that one there as a as more of a joke. That wasn't a real option. So I'll be doing something I wanted to do on Saturday and then kind of just didn't do. So Oh, hello, Selkie. I feel like I always make that too sharp. We'll worry about expression work later, I think. Ah, hello, Bucky. Maybe the tone I have is wrong in my head. Oh, hello, Q. Well, I'm not very good at drawing, like, paints models. So that makes sense. I have such a hard time, like, parsing these designs. The backwards cap, it do be that way. Oh, I always forget that, like, Devin isn't actually that thick. Like, around his waist. Like, he looks... The character feels heavier than he actually is, I guess. He's a twink, but in bear form. Well, you know, we can't have him, like, being bigger than Brian, right? So maybe that was the reason, right? They have really long torsos. This is true. They have really long torsos and really scrunched faces. $75 Snoot. Yeah. How do I undo thingy? pull up some some Cameron pics. What we got here? Oh, he has a lot of crossed arm portraits, doesn't he? What a little lad. Oh yeah, he's a lot of crying portraits as well. What's going on with this lad? Come on. It's like, lad, get over it. It's like nothing bad's gonna happen on your little vacay. It's all fine. Come on. Heh. How tall are these characters? Man, I don't even know. I was gonna like adjust their sizes later on, just not worry about it, you know? Yeah, because Cameron's torso is like long as shit. I'm sure their heights are printed on some, like, character sheet somewhere. Do I care? Not really. What was the one pose that like a third of Cameron's like portraits do? We'll just copy one of those. There we go. The sad boy posing. Ah, hello, Cot. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, there we go. Right, and these characters have like no foreheads. That's something that like kind of clashes with the way that I draw, as I usually have really raised foreheads. Gotta make sure we get that gigantic snoot in there, you know? Cameron has a squared off nose, doesn't he? Probably. Maybe... Cameron's snoot is so weird. Because it, like, does that. Maybe something like that. I don't know. How far down does his thingy go? Like right to his waist? Okay. Ah, Ty, hello. These proportions? Oh, okay. I'm gonna probably have to like change some of it later, but because I made Cameron's head too big, so that'll be changing later. Either that or I have to make his body bigger or longer. Definitely longer. It's like I know I can't draw them on model because I'm not good enough for that, but you know, we can do our best. They're both pathetic. Oh my god. You know, I do like these two a lot, but would I call either of them pathetic? I don't know about that. I don't know. I mean, like, part of me wants Cameron to be pathetic, but you know, that's we don't we try not to listen to that side of the brain, you know, like we try not to. Uh, it's fine. Hmm. It's like, yes, I have to get this shoulder correct. The one that will be obscured by Devon, and thus no one will be able to see. It needs to be done right. It's fine. Hmm. Should probably see about fixing Cameron's head now. Just. go. Hmm. Oh, wait, give me a moment. Muzak. Oh no. There we go. always make you want a snack. Do I have a snack near me? Give me a minute. Yeah. Mud chips! Only some of it spilled, it's fine. There we go. I'm the snack. Terrible, terrible. What kind of chip? I guess they're not chips. They're more like puff balls, but they're corn flavored. It's a Philippine thing, I guess. Huh. I grew up with these, so I still get them on occasion. I remember every time I would like grab these, like when I would bring them to school, people would always think I'm weird because they're just like a corn flavored like chip thing. Like, what? That sounds gross. And I'm like, okay, like you can believe that. I like them, but you know, I like a lot of terrible things, so you know, I'm no count for taste here, I guess. Me with shrimp chips. But the shrimp chips are neat. They were never like my favorite. But you know, I find them respectable. It's a good flavor. Yeah, corn tastes good. And it's a sweet corn taste for these like puffballs. It's good. Oh, a sweet corn drink? Oh, that does sound fun. Yeah, I don't know what it is about Asia. They're far more willing to just, like, make... make what they got, you know? Oh, we got a surplus of corn. Well, let's make corn-flavored things. Like, I remember getting this, it was a variety pack of different fruit-flavored, like, hard candies, right? And, the one that, like, released, I didn't like this flavor. Okay, I'll say that right now. But, you know, it's neat that they have it. But, like, they had tomato as one of the flavors. And, like, well, that's neat. But I don't really like the taste of tomato, like, by itself. So, like, not really for me, but, I have family members that really like that flavor, so it's like, yeah, it's for someone. Asians have the best food stalls. Yeah? Yeah, they do. Man, like food carts in Asia, 10 out of 10. When I moved to America, food trucks and like food carts, like what a major downgrade. I'm like, what happened? Like you know the Mickey Mouse meme of like what happened? Like that was me. Like I'm like, where'd all the good food go? Like, from like the food carts and shit. Like wait. Oh no. Is what it is. I got used to it, I guess. Hmm. That looks a little bit better. Well, we'll iron that out later, I guess. Oh. Yeah, it's a good thing there aren't like, well, there are food trucks where I live, but they're never like open when I'm out and about. So I don't know about like the current state of food trucks in my area. Maybe they've gotten better, but I don't know. I've noticed that a lot of the ones that I see nowadays, at least in like where I live, aren't American owned. So, you know, maybe 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 they'll be better. Oh no, Q. So America doesn't have the most bare bones seasoning for our dishes. The UK does. Uh, Every single family member, all of my friends that have gone to the UK are like, this is the worst country they've ever been to when it came to food for flavor. Oh, my dad said that while he was there, he resorted to going to McDonald's because at least he knew that McDonald's had flavor. He doesn't like McDonald's, by the way, but he said he was that. He was at that point where he would rather have McDonald's than whatever, like, he was getting elsewhere. And that's pretty damning for him, because he'll, like, eat anything. Hmm. The hot sauces? Oh my god. Look, we all know that American hot sauces kinda suck. I find that the main issue with, like, American hot sauces is that they just don't taste. Like... America's weird, right? Because, like, Americans really want to, like, one-up each other, right? Like, we're all about competition. We'll make a competition about anything. And so instead of just making, like, I don't know, a hot sauce that tastes good, they'll just make a hot sauce that's really hot to be like, haha, I'm stronger than you. And, like, but that's all it is. It's just a bunch of heat. And, like, that's boring. It doesn't taste good. Like, what's even the point? Having a real hard time on this. Maybe we'll backtrack on that and do that later. So, Cirrus, all I've ever heard is that the UK has the worst variant of fish and chips. That is, like, all I've ever heard from people that travel. Where they're just like, wow, this is the blandest version of this dish I've ever had. Like a Puerto Rican friend of mine that went to the UK over the summer, legitimately was just like, they have the worst potatoes and the worst battered fish he's ever had. And he went to multiple restaurants and multiple, like, carts for it because he just didn't want to believe it because of how much he had heard, like, oh, that's the thing over there. So it wasn't like a one try thing for him. He went all over. Which is really funny. Oh man, I have to like be careful with Devin's like fluff rolls because I don't want to make it look like he has a mullet. I feel like that's a genuine concern of that could happen. Which it probably will, but you know, that's fine. Maybe people are into that. They're hot? Okay. The consensus on dragon fruits, they're okay. I wouldn't say like a dragon fruit is worth paying like overcharged prices for the novelty, but like if you can find them at like a normal price, like they're fine. Yeah. Do you think Orlando tastes like one? Oh my god. Who? Man, I had a really weird moment when I was drafting that password piece I did earlier this month. I I looked at my all cast drawings I did and I was like, okay, there were Dave and 5 friends. Yes. Okay. And like I made enough room in the draft for 5 and I started drawing and I'm like, am I leaving out anyone? I was like, wait, does this feel wrong? Like it's a good thing I caught that, you know? It probably would have been bad to have like another piece in which just Orlando wasn't included, and this time on accident, you know, because it would have been on accident. Well, it's a Dave and his 6 friends, but because when I did my set during the summer of all of the cast, I had only drawn 5 of the friends because I didn't draw Orlando. And I'm like, well, I can't leave out Orlando again. So I had to completely redo a bunch of it. The 5 friends. Oh my god. Actually, Ty, the one that was gonna be left out was was Haas, unironically. Because I drafted Orlando first. No, I drafted him second. Because I was like, no, I can't leave out Orlando again. That would be I would never hear the end of it, right? And so I drafted everyone except for Haas. So, you know, is what it is. How could I forget Haas? Because he's awful to draw. You know, it just is what it is. I love pulling up the files, and every CG has a different design, like a different main design. And like none of the CGs has the same design as the character portrait. So I'm always left sitting there like, what do I do? Just draw him bald? Now wait a minute. That's an option. We just shave his mane. Problem solved. And Tyson's gonna be the one to do it. Okay, but I love Devin's radical 90s, like, baseball cap. Like, backwards baseball cap look. It's really good. I need him doing a kickflip while riding a skateboard, you know? There we go. Oh, I forgot he has like little... There we go. Now what am I gonna do with Cammy Boy? Am I gonna try again? And fail again? seen Invincible. No, I haven't watched an episode. Man, when season 1 came out, I forget how long ago that was. That just like a year or two ago? Maybe 2 years ago at this point. I remember being really confused because I suddenly started hearing people talk about Invincible, and my legitimate reaction was, why are people talking about Invincible? It's not 2010 anymore. That was my reaction to hearing people, like, just random people talking about Invincible. Because I didn't know there was a show. I just straight up wasn't paying attention. I did not know that a season had dropped. Somehow I missed it. Because, like, I remember when people were talking about the comic. So when suddenly random people at, like, the card shop were talking about Invincible, I'm like, eh? The guy that we memed on for getting... Is it? Oh, that's not PC to say here. It's fine. It's fine. No worries. I hear that was supposed to happen in season 2, and I wonder if they did it or not. Were they brave enough in a, rated... What is it? Because it's TV 14, right? Like, for English? I'm going to assume all they did was imply that it happened, or cut before it happens. It is what it is. I'll be honest, the only thing that I remember from Invincible is when, he befriended a werewolf. Had an entire arc where he just, like, hung out with this werewolf. That was cool. I assume that won't be in the TV series, because that didn't happen in the Invincible book proper. Battle Beast? No, I'm actually talking about the Astounding Wolfman. Which was like another book by the same writer, and so he had Invincible show up in that book. Like for an arc. No, cross-promote your IPs and whatnot. So you got to see... Oh, what's his name? What's Invincible's? Is it Mark? It's been so long. I don't remember. Yeah, okay. Because I obviously don't know how things are done in the TV series, but I remember, like, I didn't finish reading the comic because I thought the comic was a little lame. Not going to, you know, it's fine. It's fine. It's not, it's more I thought it was a little overtuned. I don't know. I like other comics by that same writer, but I unironically think Invincible and The Walking Dead are my least favorite things from him. But they're like the two things that got adapted from him, so they're like his two most popular work. Oh, it was a little funny. It's a little funny. Cause I liked Astounding Wolfman and I liked Super Dinosaur. uh, Josh thought the comic was ruined by no, I remember people memeing about that when that happened to Mark. Like, there's constant just there was, you know, it was the early 2010s. It was a different time for for memes and how we made fun of media. No, I didn't think that that ruined the book. One, I stopped reading before that happened, is what it is, because I just didn't really like the book. I get really bored really fast with concepts like, what if Superman was a fascist? Like, I'm bored. I'm so bored. Look, we already had Superman Red Sun back in what, the 90s? That's all we need. Yeah, it's Invincible and The Walking Dead do too much to try to be like dramatic and blockbuster, as I guess how I'm going to phrase it. Like, those felt like his books that he was really trying to appeal to like a mainstream audience, and I'm like, guy, you're the creator of Battle Pope. What are you doing? What do you mean you suddenly want to appeal to the mainstream? Produce more science, dog. He would never get bored of, what if Superman was a big wolf man? Excuse you, he got turned into a lion man. I want that to come back. Not gonna lie. I'll be honest, that issue of Superman was really funny. Where he gets turned into like an anthropomorphic lion. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. He's not feline coded at all. This was back in like the 60s, okay? He's supposed to be coded like courageous, right? Well, he's a lion now, because back then like people associated lions with like courage. Now they're associated with incest, but you know, that is what it is. Like, it was funny because like Superman was like, "Wah, I'm a lion man. My life is ruined." Even though like realistically, like, what's changed? You're still Superman. I guess you can't have a secret identity anymore, I guess. Clark just has to die. But Lois Lane, to try to make him feel better, was like, hey, let's go to the theater together and watch a play. That'll make you feel great. And they end up, she does not check what's actually playing at the theater, and they end up going to watch a Beauty and the Beast. And, like, Superman leaves angry, because he's not angry, but sad, because he's just like, woe is me, I'm a big beastman. It was a time. That time Superman turned gay from pink kryptonite. That's not canon. He turned flamboyant. But it do have connotations. And, you know, they never brought back pink kryptonite because of that. One, it became a joke, so, you know, No one was going to take pink kryptonite seriously after that. That, and it was only for one panel too. Like, oh well. At least it wasn't Cats. Cats wasn't created yet. If it was, maybe. Pink kryptonite was a choice. It was just supposed to be like a gag panel where like they were messing with a bunch of different kryptonites. So it's just like, oh, this one made him like kind of flamboyant. And even then, like, you take the panel just on its own and it's like, I guess he's like, all you can really say is like, oh, I guess he's just a little more chummy, I guess. Because what the panel was just him complimenting what Jimmy's suit, and that was it. Like, with the narration box of like pink kryptonite had like weird effects on Superman. That was it. Like, so that was like, I don't know. They've never really clarified, and like, the comic book community has memed like that scene to death, so like I don't think they'll ever bring it back proper. And yeah, they made him like turn into a woman in the cartoon because, one, it was a 2-minute short and it's hard to communicate to kids in what, a 10-second span of time, if that Superman gets more flamboyant when he's exposed to pink kryptonite. So there you go. They did it that way, so it's easily recognizable to kids what's happening. I mean, there's been a lot of weird things with the Super family, right? Mostly Jimmy. I mean, anytime I try to open up, like, Superman's pal, Jimmy Olsen, I'm like, weird shit happens. Oh, no. That comic was real weird. I'm forever tainted by Injustice Superman. Just read the comic. It's actually a little better. Like, video game Injustice Superman, kinda lame. Comic Injustice Superman, he's a little bit better. Not great, but a little bit better. The lesser lame version? Yeah, see, there we go. There we go. It's why I'm still waiting for, like, less lame Spider-Man to get reintroduced, you know? It's gonna happen one of these months. We're slowly getting there. We're slowly getting back to Superior. Oh, I just want, like, Peter to get cucked out of his own book again. Like... It's gonna be great. Did you see Y2K Spider-Man? What does that mean? Is that a thing I know? I don't follow the Spider books religiously because I think they're kind of bad the majority of the time. And by bad, I just mean not for me. I don't mean that in like it's actually a bad book. I probably shouldn't say that in these trying times for Amazing Spider-Man. As like a... It do be that way. Oh, the new Ultimate Spider-Man? Good. Good. I'm so excited for that book. Legitimately. But I'm excited for all of the new Ultimate titles. Like, oh, beautiful. Like, I'm so glad we're getting, like, an Ultimate Universe back. Granted, we're only gonna have, like, 4 books at the start. We're only gonna have Ultimate Universe, Ultimate Spider-Man, Ultimate X-Men, and Ultimate Black Panther. But that's fine. Good. It's been 8 years. We've waited so long. Granted, like, it's not the same Ultimate Universe. It is different. Which is unfortunate. But, you know, we take what we can get. It do be that way, though. More torture to the Spider Boy. Now, when you say Spider Boy, Q, do you mean Peter or Bailey? Because we do have a character named Spider Boy. So I would... It needs clarification. And he has his own comic now. Like... Can't it be both? They're different people. Besides, Spider-Boy's having a rough time currently. His entire existence is a little rough, but you know. Spider-Man canonically fucks? Oh, so Spider-Boy is just a sidekick that Peter took on. But yeah, Peter has fucked before. One of the most tragic moments in Spider-Man comics is when Mary Jane has a miscarriage. He had an active sex life with Mary Jane before that all got retconned. But, you know... Spider-Man fans are still salty. I'm glad I'm not like that close to that book, because that would be rough. And you know, we had Mayday Parker, like, you know, Peter's daughter. She doesn't exist anymore, but you know. It do be that way. Did he kill someone with spider cum? That was a different story. How much more suffering can they put Peter through? As much as they want, baby! Peter doesn't even have the worst of it, like... Ben Reilly has it so much worse as a Spider-Man. Ben gets it so much worse, people don't even know who Ben Reilly is anymore. When he was Spider-Man for multiple years. Wasn't there also a wheelchair? There's been all sorts of Spider-Mans, you know. When Slott was like, I'm gonna make a big multiverse event for Spider-Man. Like a whole bunch of those lads were created for that event. You know, the event that ruined Spider-Man. I mean, the event that was very beloved. What's the issue with having a bunch of different multiverse versions of Spider-Man? The fact that we can't escape it anymore. If it was just like a cool one-off thing, more power to Slott as a writer. Like, good, fun. But now it's like every single Spider book has to have a multiverse like storyline now, because that's what people expect from Spider-Man like books nowadays. Like, it's kind of annoying, because the Spider books used to be the more down-to-earth books, more street level, and that was like their appeal. But can't have that anymore. We can't have Spider-Woman's book being all, I'm sorry, Spider-Gwen, that's probably the name people know. We can't have her book just being about, like, police brutality and the corruption of the American justice system, which is what her book was about. Like, that was, like, the main thing with Spider-Gwen for her entire original run. I kind of miss it, I'll be honest. Because her whole thing was like, I'm gonna fight against the system, man, even if my dad is the system. Because, you know, she was edgy as fuck and did whatever she wanted. Man, and her dad finds out so fast. Sounds a lot more intense than you would expect. What do you mean? Like, but that's how her book started. That's the sales pitch of the character. And, you know, then they put her into a children's film, and suddenly we couldn't have that be her shtick. So, well... Oh, well. Because we don't even see, like, her original arch nemesis anymore, which was really cool. Because the main villain she fought against was Kingpin, but not the normal Kingpin, because she actually puts him in jail really early. Did they age her down for the movie? No. She was still just a teenager. In her comic. But she was like in her own comic, she's like really bitter and angry all the time because she's a wanted criminal. So it's like extra hard for her to be a vigilante to help the city. Until her dad finds out, anyway, and then the dad's like, I can't arrest my own daughter. And so he's constantly like pulling strings to try to get like the police department off of her trail. It's kind of cute. It's kind of neat. And they bicker and argue all the time. It's a fun dynamic. Something special about Pin. Oh yeah, Kingpin gets arrested really early in her run, and it's Matthew Murdock that becomes the new Kingpin. So instead of becoming Daredevil, he just becomes he uses his lawyer job to just become the new Kingpin and try to take over New York through like the law system. Real cool book. What? But her book's been canceled for years now, so unfortunate. And when she does show up, she's just in Earth 616 so that she can like interact with Peter and Miles, two characters she doesn't have a bond with. But hey, I'm not salty. What happened to her own cast of characters and friends? No, they're just gone? Okay. Okay, Marvel. Like, that's fine, I guess. Well, I don't even know when's the last time, like, her dad's shown up. But I haven't, like, read any of her, like, more modern miniseries. Because they do occasionally give her, like, a miniseries to help promote, like, the movie. Well, you can't really bring over her supporting cast from one universe over to the next one. And, you know, her supporting cast wasn't in the movie that came out, so, you know, no one's going to care about them. You know, it's like when they wrote out Gonke out of the, out of Miles's book. It's like, oh, he wasn't in the movie? Okay, well, just get rid of him. Like, oh, really? Is that how we're gonna do this? Oh. Okay. That's fine. Here we go. How big does he need to be? Oh, he needs to be big. There we go. Gonke? Oh, Gonke was Miles's best friend in his original comic. If I remember right, he was a Korean kid. He was some flavor of Asian. Hmm. There we go. What do you mean introduced you to One Piece? Everyone fucking knows what One Piece is. Why is he friend sized? You know, that's a little bit facts though. Oh, the anime's so garbo though. It's like one of the hardest things to recommend only because because of the sheer length of One Piece, and it's not the length itself that's the issue. It's the multiple directors. So sometimes you'll just have a really mediocre director for like hundreds of episodes. And so like the individual episodes will suffer because of it. Like is it even it's simul subbed Cirrus? One Piece has been available subtitled officially for 15 plus years. it's been available for a long time. The only correct way, that's just wrong though. You can just read the manga. And even then, like, the manga itself gets worse as it goes along. It is kind of like sad to see, like, page layouts get worse. Like in the last 5 years specifically, you can just go, oh no, Oda's now getting too old. Like he now can't actually make the manga anymore. It's kind of one of those things where you get to see the degradation of his like skill level because of his age. It is a little bit tragic. I hope he finishes soon for his sake. There we go. Oh yeah, like none of the English voice actors are good. They're like all terrible in both dubs. Like in both versions of the English dub, they're just all not very good. Can Oda beat Goku? Not anymore. He's too old. Yeah, because I stopped reading One Piece about halfway through Wano because the pages were just too bad. Like I couldn't actually continue reading anymore. I was like, these pages are so difficult to parse. And even the pages that Oda doesn't make, because he now has assistants, right? And the pages that are done by the assistants, you can kind of just tell because all the faces are copied from a model sheet. You can kind of, like, you can always tell. It do be that way. So I kind of stopped reading the manga just because I'm like, that's just not good enough to continue reading anymore. I usually tell people, just stop reading after Whole Cake Island. That one's like the last, like, really legible arc. And even then, that arc has some really questionable creative decisions. That I'm like, did you just come up with this, like, yesterday, Oda? What are we doing? I don't think anyone was asking for, like, a new origin for Sanji's, like, character. But okay, you do you. Getting beat Super Saiyan 2, oh my god. Super Saiyan 2 Goku's barely even canon anymore. You had that whole kerfuffle about how, like, what was it? Toriyama got asked to draw Super Saiyan 2, and he started drawing, like, Super Saiyan 3, because he himself just doesn't know the difference between the forms anymore. It's fine. It's probably why he doesn't use the numbered forms anymore. That'll be interesting when Dragon Ball ends, probably sometime this or next decade. Before they have to reboot it. Alright, he has, like, the little scarry scar up there. Yeah. He's gonna have rainbow hair? Probably not anymore. I mean, that's probably why they're resetting him again for the new series. So they don't have to worry about, like, that level of power creep for the new anime. Like, personally, I like what the manga was doing with Goku for a while. Like, for Super. Where he, give me a second. There we go. That. Where he would just use Super Saiyan God and Super Saiyan Blue. And they just had, like, different utility. So he would actually have to, switch between the two during combat. Though usually I'm fine with whatever Dragon Ball's doing as long as, like, Toriyama's on script. Because if I'm going to be reading Dragon Ball, I at least want it to be entertaining. Don't really care about much else in that book. I want Goku to say the funny thing before he punches the bad man. And then befriends him. Where does Leo place in the Echoverse power level tier? Well, Leo can manifest whole beings, right? So he has to be pretty powerful. He created a whole Shadow Chase, right? That seems pretty strong to me. He canonically manifests twinks. Well, when you have enough twinks, right? If we just make an army of twinks, I think we can get places. That is not the tool I wanted. Okay, there we go. Okay. Oh, okay. I think we will stop here for the night. I think that's a good idea. And I'll continue this some other night. I'll have to like still fix some proportions. But I think this is like a decent starting draft. Or maybe not. You can tell me later. I'm gonna go get dinner. So I'll see you guys around.